Hi Scorpio, welcome to your September 2019 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And also just to let you guys know, I'm not going to be offering personal readings for a bit. I might start them back up again by the time I post the October videos. I'm not 100% sure yet, but most likely that'll be when, and I'll definitely give you guys an update when I post the October videos. And also regarding the love readings, those should be up around the time of Labor Day. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up around that. Alright, so with that out of the way, we'll focus on your reading here. So we have a Celtic cross spread in front of us, and got some extra cards that came up there. Pulled an oracle card for you from two different decks, Wisdom of the Oracle and the Spirit Animal Oracle, and then we also have a mudra card. So plenty to get to. At first, your reading looked really positive, similar to the Cancer reading that I just did. Actually, theirs was on fire, and then I don't know. Looks like there might be a little iffy energy in your environment, but we'll see as we go through it. Alright, starting with the main situation. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So, this is actually a card of Virgo, the last 10 degrees of Virgo. But overall, this represents some financial increase, stability, satisfaction in that area of life as well. Now, maybe if this is a timeline thing, this may say that you might see that increase as we get toward the end of time of Virgo, which would be, let's say, between the 10th and 20th of September, give or take a couple of days. So, I'm recording this on the 20th of August, so, I wouldn't be too far off in the future. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. This could just represent some financial increase for you. Given that Virgo is your 11th house as well, this could just be growth in that area of life as well, as far as friendships, maybe even groups that you're dealing with. There could be some expansion there. But overall, I see this as a pretty positive energy. If this is regarding your 6th house, which would be Aries, there's not really a whole lot going on there. I mean, we have Chiron retrograde, but it's not really going to be getting hit with many aspects. So I don't really think that that's what it's about. So primarily I see this as financial increase for you guys, and like I said, maybe expansion with friends as well. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So to me, this is an energy of comparison. Usually now can be comparison against your previous work, right? Which is to say, okay, it took me this long to get this far. Do I want to keep committing that same amount of time and energy just to get that much out of it again, right? So that could be one way it's playing out. Another way it could be playing out is to say that you've been comparing yourself to others, right? And maybe you're feeling like, all right, well, I've put in this much work, haven't gotten as far as those around me, and maybe you're trying to reevaluate why that might be the case, right? Another way this could be playing out, though, is just to say that this could even be maybe something that you've been working on since the time of Taurus, which was when Jupiter in your 2nd house of finances actually went retrograde. So, maybe since the time of Taurus, you feel like you've been plugging away but not really seeing any progress. And maybe now that Jupiter has gone direct, it went, like I said, I'm recording this on the 20th of August, so it went direct a little over a week ago. It's going to keep building momentum. So maybe now you finally start to see that increase in Virgo season that you were maybe starting to think wasn't going to come around at all. So that could be what's at play there. And another way this could be playing out as well, I should mention, since this is a Taurus energy, and Taurus is your opposite sign, this could just be saying that maybe your friends, your life with your friendships is actually flourishing, but you might feel like your romantic relationship area of life is a bit stagnant right now. So that could be what's at play as well. In the foundation position, we have the King of Wands. So this is actually the court card for Leo. So some of you can be dealing with Leo, obviously, but again, this could also be pointing to, since Leo is your 10th house of career, this can just be pointing out that that's what this is around. Like I said, maybe since the time of Taurus, you just feel like things have really been slow go for you in that area of life, and now finally with the Virgo energy, like I said, primarily most likely because of Jupiter, especially seeing that in the near future. Maybe because Jupiter's finally gone direct in your second house. Things that might have seemed a bit stagnant in the area of finances for you might actually start to pick up steam. And for some of you, that could even be due to the result of a promotion, since this is King of Wands energy, maybe even just being out in the public spotlight more in some way, since, it's both fifth house energy of Leo, and for you guys, that's personally your 10th house. So that's a lot of public recognition energy. So having this in the foundation, that could be what's at play there. In the past position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is actually a court card for Virgo. So some of you might have been dealing with a Virgo. You might have felt like growth was very slow with them. Or this can just again be pointing to finances for you again, saying that, maybe even you knew that the actual finances would be coming in eventually, but maybe for whatever reason you found out that there would be some kind of delay behind that. So maybe that was what was at play in the past. But yeah, primarily that's what I'm feeling. You just feel like whatever was coming in, it wasn't coming in at the speed that you would have liked. And I do see a shift in that energy if that's the case, because in the present we have the Eight of Wands. So again, this is more Sagittarius energy, which for you is your second house, which could just be saying that, okay, now things are actually going to pick up the pace quite a bit. And that could be where we see you shifting from that 7 to that 10 energy. This could just be a lot of action being taken. This could also be you just on the move a lot more when it comes to finances. Maybe bouncing around from place to place, but definitely seems to be forward movement if there was stagnation. For you guys, your ninth house is Cancer. There's not really anything in particular going on there right now, other than the North Node, of course, which is pretty significant in of itself, but no real aspects going on there. So I feel that this is primarily tied to finances for you guys. All right, in the near future position, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. So these two energies together, again, like I said, to me, this is just screaming out to me that this is definitely going to be some kind of forward movement for you, most likely in the area of finances. Maybe even you get a new idea on a creative level, and maybe that's what actually ends up picking things up for you. So, maybe there's a business that you already had out there, for example, and maybe you felt like the growth was a bit stagnant with it. Maybe you come up with a new idea to advertise your business, right? You're like, oh, okay, you know what? This is a way that I could get more exposure in this area, right? And then that actually ends up bringing some more business your way. That's just, one of many examples of how the energies could be playing out. This can play out in your romantic life as well. This can just be saying that either you might be thinking of extending an offer to someone or vice versa. Let's say that maybe, for example, usually it's more of a earth sign mentality, but maybe you guys were feeling this way as well, or maybe your finances weren't where you wanted them to be. So maybe you felt like you couldn't, really offer a relationship to someone because you weren't comfortable with that area of life. And maybe this is saying that now with those things turning around for you in that area of finances, now you are getting closer to feeling like, all right, I can actually make someone an offer. That could be how it's playing out in that regard, because we do have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So there could definitely be some energy around that, wanting to grow, maybe even proposing to someone that you've been with for a long time. So that could be what's at play there. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Fool card. So this is taking a leap of faith. Like I said, it could just be you just ready. Now you might be feeling rejuvenated, where energy that might have felt blocked for you guys. Like I said, it could have been maybe your relationship life was struggling a bit, but your friendships were doing well, or this could have all been financial. But either way, we see that shift from the Knight of Pentacles energy to the Eight of Wands energy. Definite forward movement, Wheel of Fortune. Again, signifying Jupiter moving forward again as well. So a lot of forward movement could just have you feeling a bit more outgoing. This isn't normal your energy, I have to say, the Fool. So something has you feeling like, you just want to strike out and do something out of the ordinary. It's usually feeling pretty light as well. So could just be that maybe these things were weighing you down for a bit, and now you just feel a bit more free at this point. In the environments position, we have the Tower card. So this is where the energy did start to shift for me a bit. Um, because for me, I'm really picking up on your energy being, your even if you were feeling stagnant for a bit with these energies there, it looks like things are really starting to pick up for you. And, I'm looking at the Tower card in the environment, and it makes me think that maybe not everyone's all that happy to see you doing this well. I hate to say that, but that's really the first thing that came to my mind there. And I'll get to why that's the case when we get to the outcome card as well. But so something to think about, or it may not be anything malicious. For example, it could just be that um, maybe people around you might not be doing that well, and now you're doing great. You know what I mean? It could just be one of those things where they might not even have you in their mind, like, oh, I'm upset Scorpio's doing great, but it could just be that they're going through their own thing that's a bit rough right now, and it just so happens that your life is doing well. Like that Scorpio is one of those signs that can tend to thrive in chaos. So, if there are others around you that are doing poorly, you might actually be riding out that wave a lot better than them. So that could be what's going on there. Um, but for some of you, this can't even be related to, again, like I said, a relationship. Maybe that is what happened for some of you with Uranus recently going retrograde in your opposite sign. Maybe a relationship might have ended suddenly. And maybe that's what that Fool energy is about. And if that's the case, quite frankly, for a lot of you, it might have been you who chose to end it. Um, and maybe it's because you have someone new in mind. That could be what the Ace of Cups is about as well. Maybe it's like I said, because that's a very stagnant energy. And since it is the Taurus energy, that does represent your opposite sign. So maybe you just decided, you know what, I don't feel like there's any more room for growth in this connection. And maybe you just tell the person that you don't really see any reason to continue the connection, and obviously that would throw them for a loop. But I'm picking up more of a vibe though. Like I said, for most of you, I just feel like someone in your environment either is just not doing too well, or there are some people in your environment who aren't necessarily happy that you're doing very well. So something to keep an eye out for there. Um, you will have a full moon in your fifth house too. So that might bring some things to light in that regard. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up on with this. And I do have to say, I always try to remind people that if you are worried about this playing out in more of a tangible, physical way, you could just carry some black tourmaline around with you for the month. Because the striations there always make me think of the raw black tourmaline. And that's a good protection stone to have with you. So you can just pick some of that up if you don't already have some. It's fairly inexpensive. If you do use the raw black tourmaline, you might want to put it in like a baggie because it can flake a bit. So you don't want to like make a mess in your pocket or whatever, or wherever you put it. Or you could get tumbled black tourmaline and you won't have to worry about that problem. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Swords. So this is interesting. It's a pretty neutral energy in of itself. So having this come up in the hopes or fears position, I'm not quite sure what to even think of it, to be perfectly honest with you. Just looking at the cards around it to see if anything really comes to me with this, but I don't know. Not really getting much from this, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, there could just be a decision that you do need to make, and maybe there is some anxiety around it, so maybe it's a little bit of both, right? But either way, it looks like you're, like I said, with that Fool energy, it looks like you're going to be making a move. And you know what this makes me think of, since this is a Libra card. For example, some of you being Scorpios, a lot of you might have either your Venus or maybe your Mercury in Libra. And Libra's reading was actually all about, doing their own thing, putting themselves first for once. So maybe that's what this energy is about. You guys putting yourselves first, and maybe that throws other people for a loop. So maybe that's what that's about with the Libra energy in there. Now, in the outcome position, we had the Six of Wands, but it came out this way. So this goes back to what I was saying with the Tower energy, because the Six of Wands in the upright is usually about being celebrated. You know, it doesn't always have to be something major. Like I said, to me, I see this as it could be as simple, since it's a Leo energy, and I feel it has a lot of sun energy. It could be as simple as your birthday comes around, right? And everyone's wishing you happy birthday on social media. They're sending you text. Maybe they go out with you, take you out to dinner, buy you some drinks, you know, one of those types of energy. So it doesn't have to be a major success. But at the same time, you know, with this coming up in that position, not either upright or reverse, to me that says that there might just be some people that aren't too happy to see you succeeding in whatever you're succeeding in. So something to keep in mind there. This is more Leo energy, so if there's a Leo you're dealing with, maybe it's them actually that might be a little less than thrilled to see you in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form. Or this can just be again pointing to the fifth house energy, right? Which is to say that there is going to be that full moon there. So keep an eye out around that full moon energy. Maybe you might start to see that situation a bit differently as far as, you know, who really is on Team Scorpio and who isn't, you know. That's really what I'm getting there, since that is, you know, the natural fifth house, and then your fifth house is Pisces, will have a full moon there. There's going to be a lot of aspects made to Neptune in your fifth house as well, so, you know, maybe it might help you see things from a different angle if there are some people in your environment that maybe don't want to see you succeed. But given that it did come out sideways and it was technically this way, so to me that's a little bit closer to being upright than if it would have been this way. I would have viewed it closer to reverse. So there probably are more people who are supportive and are excited to see you doing well than there are people that are detractors, but just something to keep in mind for you guys. All right. Now moving on to your oracle cards. First one we have is Chaos and Conflict. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 33. So interesting there. I wasn't even realizing that it was chaos and conflict when I said you guys can thrive in the chaos, because like I was saying, maybe it's just that other people in your environment aren't doing too great, but you're, you know, things are actually picking up for you in the meantime. So like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be that people have malicious thoughts towards you. You know, it could just be that they're so caught up in their own mess that they can't even really celebrate you. That could be another way it's playing out too. All right, it says essential meanings: disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. The oracle's message: opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand and rather than be understood. So maybe that's what that saying is too. You know, maybe there is chaos in your environment, and maybe that fool card is just saying that you're not even engaging with it. Like, you know what? All right, people, you know, are trying to start something with me. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm not even paying that any mind. Maybe that's what the fool energy is pointing to there. But yeah, hopefully you guys got time for that message. The relationship message says stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear, and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. So what's interesting to me there was the words, things can become electric and enlightened. That's almost what that tower energy reminds me of, obviously with the lightning bolt there. Well, maybe that's what it's saying too. Maybe something needed to come out in this way. Maybe it was overdue, and maybe that helps you see things from a different perspective. So that would be a more positive way it could play out. Like I said, with that Fool energy, though, I don't see you in much of a confrontational vibe either. So, maybe you're just like letting it roll off your back. I don't know. All right. The prosperity message says circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. Yes, it's a stormy time, and it feels as if there are opposing forces wherever you turn. Be reassured that there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you so the truest parts of yourself remain. The events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired even though it doesn't appear that way now. In time you will know this to be true. So pretty interesting message there. Hopefully you guys got something from that. And then moving on to the next deck. Actually, you guys got two cards from the Spirit Animal Oracle, but the first one we have is Squirrel Spirit. It says believe in yourself. There's the artwork, and the number is 57. Let's see what that has to say. All right, it says you have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need. And abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of spirit and all your hard work. Squirrel spirit shows up when you need reminding that the acorns you have gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So relax into knowing there is always enough and you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience. Through diligent preparation, you have gained wisdom and strength. How much potential you have. Believe in yourself, for Spirit believes in you and wants you to know you have enough and are enough. Doesn't that truth make you feel safe and secure? It should, for you have everything you need right now. So, the thing about the acorn and the growth, that almost makes me think of that Seven of Pentacles energy where, maybe there are seeds that you planted, like I said, maybe even back as far as in the time of Taurus, since this is the Taurus card. And that happens to be when Jupiter went retrograde in your second house. So maybe it's saying that now you start to see that growth, and especially, the time of Virgo, right? You have the harvest moon coming up. So that could be what that's pointing to as well, saying that, hey, maybe the things you thought were stagnant and weren't going to grow, you actually start to see the results of them growing now. All right, and then we have Wolf Spirit next. It says, turn knowledge into wisdom. There's the artwork for it, and number 67. What that makes me think of immediately is what I was saying with the Wheel of Fortune, when I was saying the Wheel of Fortune with the Ace of Cups, that maybe, let's say it's a business you already have going, but it seems a bit stagnant, and maybe you end up getting this idea of how you could draw more business to yourself. Like I said, maybe a different way of advertising, a different way of presenting it, that might pick things up for you. So that's what I thought of immediately when I saw the turn knowledge into wisdom. It's like you know what to do, but just acting on it. Well, let's see what it says. All right, it says Wolf Spirit leads you deep into the enchanted forest that holds the secrets to your life. Can you sense her beckoning you to follow, asking you to take all you have learned and all you are learning and make it yours? Can you integrate it all into your body, mind, and spirit? Whatever lessons you learned along the way, do not leave them unexamined. Being loyal to your dreams, to your soul, and to turning knowledge into wisdom and experience into magic. You are the one you have been waiting for. Be still and know that the sound of your heart beats in harmony with the whole world. The appearance of wolf spirit is an auspicious omen that says you are truly in alignment with your destiny. So, pretty solid message there. And I guess, I could say that even if there is some kind of tower moment in your environment with that full energy there, it's like, hey, maybe that was just meant to free up the stagnant energy, get it out of the way, and let you start anew in some way. All right, your mudra for the month is Abhaya mudra. That's the actual mudra there. The keyword for it is courage. And here's some of the info on it. All right, so it's not all going to fit in the frame here, so I'll just keep it up for a second in case you guys wanted to take a screenshot or pause it to read what it has to say. And then I'll move it up so we can get the rest in there. But yeah, it says calms the mind, reduces anxiety and inner conflict, removes attachment and aversion to thoughts, emotions, and sensations, serves as a form of protection from negativity. So, if there is some negative energy in your environment, maybe this could help you as well, this mudra. And then, like I said, maybe carry some black tourmaline if you feel like there's something iffy in your environment that could help as well. All right, guys, so we'll wrap up there, and I'll talk to you all next month. Bye.